Today's Life on Top is a songstress in South Africa who lets us into a big day in her life and career as she steps into the shoes of a music legend to honor her. Let's meet her.
It's 2 hours to go before showtime. And Belinda Davids needs to get ready. She needs to transform into one of the world's greatest performers. A legend's boots she's got to fill tonight.
My name is Belinda Davids and I'm from Port Elizabeth, South Africa. Who am I? I'm a colored girl from PE. I'm a simple person. One thing that I always turn to remember is what my mother said to me. Always remember where you come from because it humbles you. I'm just a normal colored girl from PE Galvandale.
Thank you and enjoy the greatest love of all.
And this ordinary girl, as she believes she is now ready to take to the big stage in a show that's wowed South African audiences. Transforming herself into the one and only Whitney Houston.
Whatever you want, whatever you need.
It's pretty intense, you know, because I mean, as much as I have been, you know, as much as I was idolizing her from such a young age, I think that I've been preparing for this role my whole life. But then you get into it when this moment when it happened, it was such a big emotional thing for me. You know, it was like, oh my God, I actually have to portray being this woman that I idolized for so long.
Belinda Davids is a South African singer and performer, and this is her very first big gig, filling the shoes of Whitney Houston in an international tribute show. But just how did a girl from South Africa get this big role in this big international show?
My friend called me early in the morning one morning. I can't remember the date. I wish I do now because this is such a big event for me. But he called me in the morning and he said, listen, grab your baby. You have to go to this audition. So I was like, okay, I'm kind of crazy right now because I just gave birth. And so I said, okay, well, I might as well get it done. So I picked up my son and we went and got out of my braids and I was like, oh my God, wild Whitney hair. Second last week in December, he calls me in my room. He says, I'll be in South Africa tomorrow morning. Can we have breakfast? So we had breakfast and he comes and he sprawls out Whitney. At this point, I didn't know whether I had it or not. I was like in between. I was still in limbo about it. So he sprawls out the set list, the dates, the books. He wanted me to study. He had everything in front of me. And I literally just jumped out of my skin. I was like, oh my God, did I get it? He came over and he said, okay, this is what we have. You were the best out of so many people.
Belinda, where did you find
I know.
Was it always like your intention that you were going to cast it with a South African artist?
No, it wasn't our intention. I mean, Johnny was looking all around the world, I mean, for the perfect person. I mean, you can't have anybody with a normal voice to perform a show like this. And so we did a lot of auditions around South Africa when we were here for Michael Jackson. We put the notice out and we got lots and lots and lots of people and sat there and just waited and waited. And as soon as she walked in the door and sung that first song, he just knew straight away. Straight away.
I sang the song, and I mean, I've been singing it since I remember it being or coming to life, since the bodyguard came to life. And I remember doing it. And I did it in Hong Kong one day, and they said to me, "We don't believe that it's you." And they said, we need to. So I said, okay, fine. I'll cut off all the music. I'll do it. No music, just me. And they couldn't believe it. So doing that song, even the other day when I did a meet and greet, some people were saying, "Was that really you?" Well, yeah, it is me, you know, but it's a lot. It's a big thing, you know, to do that song and deliver it as good as she did.
Oh my goodness, she is fabulous. Like seriously, she sounds so good. I'm really impressed.
No, she's awesome, I must say.
Yeah.
Very awesome.
And it's like Whitney Houston herself, you know?
I think this woman is incredible. If you close your eyes and just listen to her sing, you think she's actually Whitney Houston.
On the 11th of February 2012, the world lost one of the greatest singers. But well over a year later, Belinda Davids has managed to encapsulate Whitney Houston's powerful music in just one night. Next week, the show will leave South African shores. It will tour the world before returning for another performance in South Africa.
Moving into a new house, ready for something different in the present house, or just interested in knowing how a beautiful house looks on the inside? Well, stay tuned as we take a look at interior designing.
Ever dreamt of a perfect house? You certainly weren't dreaming of these. For many women, having a beautiful house is a dream come true. But what they fail to understand is that the perfect house is more than just a beautiful exterior. The interior can make or mar that dream home. When it comes to designing the home, a lot of women are at loss. Interior designer Titi Ogufure says this is because we have omitted the importance of interior designing. So, what exactly is interior designing and how does it differ from decorating?
Interior design is not about putting sofas or putting chairs or painting. It's beyond that. And a lot of people say, oh, okay, I can do it. Now, if you can build, some people have said, oh, I can build, and they decide and they get plumbers and you know, it's about bringing all the little bits together, planning properly, making sure a professional interior designer will know. For instance, if you were working on a public space, will know safety codes. You will know, okay, I'm planning this, the kind of floors to use, the kind of sofas to use for public space. We'll know, okay, where are all the signs? But if you get just anyone, a decorator, they'll say, okay, that's fine. Let me just put a chair, and they leave the basics.
And talking about spaces and planning, another interior designer, Armand Anini Modi, believes the home should reflect the personality of people living in it. This, according to her, is what she does as an interior designer.
Because I don't believe in planning spaces just for the sake of it. I believe ultimately a space should be about the person or people who are either going to live in or work in that space. And I think that is absolutely of paramount importance.
Speaking to different interior designers about their style, we'll learn about different designs for different types of people.
What we've tried to do is decorate the stand basically with wooden furniture, because a lot of people are worried about glass, and we've done a bit of wood here tonight and a bit of glass at the edges. We've worked with only one wood here, but different types of finishes. We've got what we call the cognac finish, and we've got what we call the Indian ink finish. When you have this dining table, for instance, for example, you really don't have to worry about the kids, because the edges of the glass can be tucked in, and you can have that for as long as 10 years.
I usually tend to design on a very neutral palette with accent pieces. We work with a lot of dark wood, as you can see. So I've used the neutral sort of taupey, golden taupe color as my base fabric. I've accented it with the aquamarine, which we have on the two poofs there and on the bench. I'm going for classic. I prefer the classic style because I find that it's endless. It doesn't age. And because I've used a neutral palette, it's easy to change your accent pieces. Right now, like I said, we've used aquamarine. You could take that out and use a red. You could use maybe a green, and it would still pop.
Though interior designing is a trend that is just picking up in this part of the world, these designers believe it is a trend people are beginning to appreciate.
Now you know that interior designing is more than just decorating. So let's get creative. Just before we go, let's inspire you with this quote. In the words of Sally Beggar, the secret to getting ahead is getting started. And according to Amelia Earhart, the most effective way to do it is to do it. We would like to hear from you. Please like our Facebook page, A Woman's World TVC News. You can also follow us at TVC Woman's World. With that, we have come to the end of today's episode. Don't forget to tune in next time. I am Oyinlola Sally.